Every 3 years, the best sailors on the planet compete in the world's toughest offshore challenge, the Volvo Ocean Race.
1, 2, go!
Stench.
For the 12th edition, 7 teams left Alicante, Spain, to cross 4 oceans and 5 continents over 9 months. It is the ultimate endurance test that all professional sailors dream of doing.
It's just relentless.
With a fleet solely composed of the Volvo Ocean 65, a boat designed to take on the most grueling offshore race. Crews are pushed to the limit in a competition that has never been closer. Battling 24/7, fighting storms, and defying the worst that Mother Nature can throw at them.
You get a beating out there.
Pushing the crews to a place where there is only a thin margin between winning the leg or losing it all.
Holy shit, I can't believe this. I can't actually believe this happened.
This is their story. Leg 7 of 9 in the Volvo Ocean Race was the final oceanic stretch, the Atlantic. From Newport, USA to Lisbon in Portugal. Dongfeng, Team Brunel and Mapfre played the best game around and out of the huge windless zone, the Azores High. But in the final dash to Lisbon, Dongfeng fell behind, Brunel picked up speed to win the leg, and Mapfre came second. Now Dongfeng face a last-minute scrap into Lisbon against Abu Dhabi and Alvimedica in super light wind.
Charlie,
Yes.
if you look, there's like a current line and then another line of breeze on the other side. Whether that's left-hand pressure or...
Very slow in Abu Dhabi, going very well here,
I
Alvin.
don't know. I think just keep fastest angle and pressing when we can.
Beautiful job at Alvimedica all night and put something like 15 miles on her. I passed her by. Those sitting ducks I mentioned a couple of days ago are right in front of me. About my 24 shotgun right now. Maybe history. Unfortunately, it's not a shooting contest, so.
Alvimedica managed to pick off Abu Dhabi. Next up is a close quarters skirmish with Dongfeng.
Stand by. Okay, guys. 13.
We match.
Let's call the water.
Room to tack, guys. Water. Room to tack. Okay. Dongfeng looks soft. Still a spot on the podium. Everyone's hopeful, but got a lot of work to do still. So it's good. Good for him. Be very quiet.
But Charlie isn't quiet for long.
I'm looking at it here. All good. They're backwinded with the masthead, okay? Just go straight. Go straight. Guys, everybody relax. Alvin, you gotta take a look, just real quick.
Alvimedica sneaked past Abu Dhabi and then Dongfeng at the last hurdle. Nice moves there by the Turkish-American team.
Thank God!
Very good job.
I did a mistake because I was too nervous. So I'm upset against me. I need to see my family and my kid. And that's a fight against me. I think my team did a good job this morning to come back on Alvimedica. We were really close to passing. But it's just a game. It's just a game. It's not so important. I have to remember that.
Abu Dhabi finished 5th.
Well done, fellas. Cheers, Johnny. Well done, guys. Cheers, Jimmy. It was quite exciting in the end, the last few hours. That's sailing, that's offshore sailing. I guess we're lucky. Overall, we've got a bit of a points margin, and Dongfeng only beat us by 1, and we probably would have taken that. We got things we got to work on.
Yeah, it's definitely the high pressure that was the big decision maker, and there are a few different options, and we picked one that actually got us back with the rest of the fleet, so it made the last few days of sailing quite exciting, so we did a good job there. The last few days of really good sailing, and we've just finished them not far behind, so we're happy.
The thing also, we've got all the, the protests. 3 of the fleet have broken the rules. It's just a question of what punishment they get by the jury. So, let's see the result of the protest before we look at the overall results.
While the sailing teams prepare for the jury hearing, the Boatyard crew under Nick Bice has time to repair damage from the tough Atlantic leg.
Lisbon's actually the last haul-out stopover, so it's pretty important to make sure all the boats are fully looked after underneath the waterline, because this is the last little push and it's our last big maintenance period. Some teams look after their boats a lot better than others, so we know as soon as we look from the outside that what boats are in better condition. But we go through our general maintenance. Some of the boats might look a little dirtier, not as shiny, but anything under the engine cover is exactly the same. So Team Alvimedica are going for a polish finish for the last little push through to the end. Mapfre is maintaining what they started the race with as full polish finish, whereas Dongfeng is going for the dull wet rub finish. So many strategies at play. Not one person can tell you what's faster, what's slower. We actually changed the fin over with Brunel. They had a few little electrolysis issues before the start and required a fin change. It was nothing structural or anything, it was more a cosmetic thing. We ended up with a crack in the paint through this join. Some water seeped in through underneath the paint and created a little bit of corrosion. Salt water and steel on a carbon fibre boat is never a good mix, and we needed to do a bit of machining to take out that bit of corrosion there. So actually Mapfre was the one that had a bit of bulb damage when they touched the bottom on the way out to the start in Newport. It was quite amazing. They came in second with quite substantial cosmetic damage, which certainly would have had an effect on their overall speed. And then of course we've got Vestas. There's been probably 10 to 15 people full-time since the boat arrived, which included the sailing team, the shore team from Vestas, and also guys from the Boatyard and guys from the yard that put the boat together. Everything turned up in different sections, one being the bulb turned up, the fin turned up, the hull turned up, and you just need to connect them all together. Engineering-wise, it's quite a feat in itself, but the feat itself is about to be completed with the launch of the boat. Let's hope they can pull off a few upsets.
Pooling the maintenance of the boats into a team run by the organisers has been an experiment during this edition of the Volvo Ocean Race.
We're now in that final push. We've got to keep the enthusiasm high, which it is, just due to having such a great team. There was a lot of speculation before the race, but I think now we have full support of all the teams. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. All the boats are making it to the finish line, which is one of our biggest tasks. There's only 6 or 7 days left racing, but they could be some pretty harsh days as well. So got Bay of Biscay to contend with, the English Channel around Ushant. So we can't rest on our laurels here. We've really got to hit it hard, and that's what the guys and girls are doing. And I'm very confident we're going to have 7 boats on the finish line through Lorient and through onto Gothenburg.
While Nick is fixing boats, an international jury is trying to fix the rule transgressions that happened at the beginning of Leg 7. 3 boats broke traffic separation scheme, or TSS rules, which didn't go unnoticed at the time.
Bauer, they're all going the wrong way up the shipping channel there.
They've sailed through the opposing lane and then into the exclusion zone.
Some people have already broken a couple of rules. Something's going to happen here, I'm not sure what.
We lodged 4 protests while the boats were still at sea, 3 of them for boats infringing the TSS rules, which are the traffic separation schemes, a little bit like the rules you have on a motorway or a highway. And we had 3 boats do that, and 1 boat did it on 2 or 3 occasions.
We had protests that has been lodged by the race committee, protesting 3 boats.
The fourth protest was against SCA for sailing into an exclusion zone, which is an area that we basically turn into land or something solid. You're not supposed to be in there. I think the three teams involved in the TSS protest, that was Mapfre, Dongfeng and SCA, all acknowledged that they got it wrong.
We accept we broke the rule regarding the navigation in the TSS. That's our error. Reviewing myself.
So it's my mistake because I'm a navigator on board Mapfre. I try to do my best to avoid it, but when we try to avoid this exclusion zone, we went in the TSS lane.
We recognize we made an honest mistake, but yeah, we have broken the RS rules, but we welcome this hearing to explain why.
A lot of these traffic separation schemes are quite heavily monitored. We have them at Cape Finisterre in this next leg, and in leg 9 we have 3 or 4 that are tightly controlled, and these organisations are renowned for penalising commercial users and private users with large fines or even jail terms. So it's international maritime law, so we have to take it very seriously.
During the incident, the Abu Dhabi crew were most vocal, particularly against their closest rivals, Dongfeng.
Dongfeng have definitely infringed the rules on 2 occasions in terms of sailing the wrong way in a traffic separation zone.
We're not talking about cheating, we are talking about fairness on sportsmanship. And as a comment, I would like to say about sportsmanship that the way about the tweet we received from Abu Dhabi, for me it's something which should not happen. I understand why it happened from him, but that's not fair. And that's not, another boat cannot normally protest against the other one. It's a way of protesting, a very clever way, but for me it's not clean.
We're quite fortunate that the jury have the ability to impose any penalty they want, so it's not necessarily going to be a points penalty. It may be no penalty. It depends what they come up with.
The 3 teams will have to wait for the jury to make their decision. Lisbon, Portugal is one of the oldest European capitals, a maritime superpower of the 15th and 16th centuries, and now hosting the Volvo ocean race fleet. Annie Lush was off Team SCA for the Atlantic leg due to injury, but she hopes to be back aboard for the rest of the race. Meanwhile, she's catching up with her past Olympic crewmate Lucy McGregor, touring the city and reflecting on her race so far.
I can't almost remember life before the Volvo now. We've been in this team for a long time and I obviously know the team very well. 3 of the girls have kids and watched them grow up since they were 2 and all from different countries, so we're not really going to just be, around the corner and just used to being able to see everyone every day. And yeah, I think you start to feel it's getting to the end. It's sort of the first time everyone's talking about what next, and it is quite sad. I mean, of course, I'd love to be stood here now with us in a better position overall, but knew from the beginning that it was going to be tough like that because we're so inexperienced, and it's like your first Olympic campaign, you're not going to win. And it's been hard to be out there and not winning. The progress we've made, I mean, just think about now how we sail the boat compared to even when we started the race, and especially the first day I turned up in Lanzarote to go sailing on a 70-foot boat. It's just, immense what we've learned. But that's why I want to do it again now, I think. I do have to admit as well that I did get ill in leg 6, and I don't think I performed that well because of it. In Newport, I did step off and haven't just done this last transatlantic leg. In some ways disappointed. I mean, it's the Volvo Ocean Race, you want to go the whole way around the world. I really want to do the finish, so if there's a choice between the transatlantic or these last short sprints, then for sure I want to be on to the end.
I've sailed with Annie for 8 or so years in the past, in the Yingling and then in match racing. And we're also from the same town at home. So yeah, we know each other pretty well. She's very good at seeing the overall picture. So for instance, she was off this last leg, but being able to manage that and accept it and make the most of it, is something I know she'll do really well.
It's a bit like being on a Volvo 65. We have a squad in our team and have rotated girls on and off the boat. I mean, the idea behind it at the beginning was if we have injury or illness, You know, we can't just call up some Volvo legend veteran and get him on for a leg. There aren't any girls out there that have sailed these boats, so we sort of knew from the beginning we couldn't just have the number you need on the boat. But obviously that then does make it hard because each leg 2 girls have got to sit out. I mean, it still is hard, you still don't know until a few days before leaving. But to be honest, it's always going to be like that because someone could fall ill at any moment, and even if you're told you're stepping off, you might be getting on, you know, the next morning if someone does get ill. So you've got to be ready to go at any moment. In Newport, when I saw the girls sailing away for the first time, like seeing that boat sailing off the dock, you know, yeah, it was hard. You're always saying you want to go home, and you know, when you're doing these campaigns and you're away for so long, it is really hard. You miss everyone and you just can't wait for a normal life. But I wonder how long when I get home, you know, after a couple of weeks, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get itchy feet and then want to be off again.
We do a lot of travelling with the job we do, but at the end of the day, it's a pretty awesome job, you know. And these guys in the Volvo have had it more extreme than I have it in the Olympic scene. But at the end of the day, I think we all absolutely love what we do.
You get used to just doing a lot every day. You know, every day is just crammed fully in the stopovers, and you're going out, you're seeing everyone, and then you're offshore, and it's mad.
For Team Vestas Wind, relaunching their boat in Lisbon has been a huge target during 4 months of hard rebuilding work. After being shipwrecked off Mauritius, this is a big moment.
We are very glad, very glad to be back. We're trying to actually remind ourselves to enjoy it because it is extremely busy and hectic, and you just still got to take time to you know, reflect on the race. Hasn't gone how we wanted, of course, but we've also, you know, I think we've gotten through a lot. Gotten through an awful lot to be back here in this position, in as good a position as we can be to rejoin the race.
The blessing we have right now is once upon a time we would have been grateful for 2 days yachting before the start of this leg.
We're sort of crawling a bit before we try and run, and we've made those mistakes before. So, but, you know, a lot of people down here to wish us well, which is really nice. So it's good to get back out there.
Aesthetically, the boat's a bit different. We've just gone for a 1-colour paint job. One design is one design. This boat's no different to the boat we had beforehand. You know, I think it's more a case of just getting your minds back into it. And I think what I'm seeing here every day is the guys are just getting more and more enthusiastic, and they're really enjoying the sailing.
Just slowly.
3 months ago, we thought that would be the very best case, was to get 2 days yachting, and then as we've been able to steal a bit of time to get almost a week of sailing, it's been fantastic, and it's just given us an opportunity to find out a few things that we really needed to find out, not find out on the leg, and we've covered that, so we're all very happy. The last thing you want to do is go to sea in a boat that's had no hours on it. You've got a complete new hydraulic system, complete new electronic system, and not that they're all not installed very well. It's just a case of there's just so many components there and so many things that you just need to run up, to calibrate, to get aligned. There's always that's going to be something that you just need to refine, and we've been able to get that time in now, so we've been very fortunate.
Please, can you give a true Portuguese welcome to Team Vestas Wind?
We need to finish in Lorient, and we need to be, we want to be competitive and be part of the fleet again. It's a very, it's a vast difference to the objectives that we had at the start of the race. But having said that, we all are extremely competitive, and we want to do the absolute best we can.
So as the crew enjoys some of the stopover fun, it means they're back in the game, and 7 boats will now compete during the final legs 8 and 9. Meanwhile, the international jury has mulled over the shipping lane incidents from leg 7, and they have made their decisions.
Dongfeng, decision in accordance with notice of race 218, Dongfeng is penalized with 1 point to be added to her overall score.
Dongfeng, Mapfre and Team SCA docked a point each, and Team SCA is docked a further point for entering an exclusion zone.
It is a harsh penalty. It's 1 place for You know, some of these were 6 or 7 minutes in duration. You know, there wasn't much time involved in them. They fight very, very hard for one place, and to have it taken away is, you know, is a blow for them.
We made a mistake, that's all. We went inside a zone where we should not have gone, and we take a point. I think it's normal, and we cannot complain about that. We made a mistake, and we take the point. Winning a race is not always being the best. It's made less mistakes than the other one. It's one more we did, and it's 1 point.
This wasn't teams deliberately cheating. This was teams misunderstanding the rules. So, look, it's not my position to judge what is right or wrong. I think the jury were in a difficult position, and they've probably come up with a pretty sensible solution.
I think it's really nice actually that the race committee has taken that step. If we would have been protesting, it would have been way more ugly in between us, and it's, I think, the same. Abu Dhabi didn't protest, and luckily the race committee has stepped up. They have checked everybody, and so in that sense it's good for the competition.
The jury's penalties take Abu Dhabi 6 points or race places ahead of both Brunel and Dongfeng, who are tied in second overall.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a great position. We're in a position where we don't need to beat the other teams. If we do beat the other teams just once, that would be enough to win the race. So really the pressure's on them because they can't afford to make a mistake. If they make a mistake against us, then that's it. For us, we need to do what we've done in the first 6 legs, which is to finish in the top 3. And even if we finish in the top 4 for 2 legs, that would be enough.
He's in the best position to win this four-portion race, but they still have pressure because it's not over, and he knows that. And I don't know what they're going to do. I think Brunel and us are very close, and we both have the same chance to finish ahead of Abu Dhabi. So I think he has to do his race and not make big mistake like breaking something.
Yeah, I said already in Newport, I think the race is more or less over, and then all of a sudden the wheels have come off from Abu Dhabi in one leg, and all of a sudden the sun is shining again. So in that sense, there's no pressure on us, and of course now being in second, that is it's just a nice bonus.
It's good news too for Annie Lush, back on board with Team SCA.
It does feel really good to be back in this race, and also the target is to try and set the crew now for to the end of the race. These legs are going to be a battle. You can feel everyone's tired, and everyone keeps saying, right, final push, but sort of behind that you can tell everyone's tired. Boys, us, it's been a marathon.
I feel tired and exhausted like most of the guys, but I also feel very excited to do these 2 short legs because it's so big. It's the kind of leg I like, very intense, and we go home for sure. And where we are going to sail is really a fantastic place for sailing. There will be, I think it will be a very nice game.
I don't think that an ocean race like the Volvo Ocean Race should have very tight coastal racing around rocks with tricky currents at the end of an offshore leg. I think it also plays into the hands of the French navigators in the race, who you're basically sailing around their back garden. But it's, that's the rules, that's what we've got to do. We'll do our research, and we'll try and prepare ourselves as best we can to do it.
Next week, the fleet sets off for Lorient, France. The legs become shorter and even more intense.
It's more of a 4-day sprint. There'll be a whole lot less sleep. At the end of this race, we want to be completely knackered.
And Team SCA gain an early lead.
It's a trim off tonight, and I'm taking that guy down. He doesn't know it yet.